How's more? So come take invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development for today's edited purposes only. The investment I'm going to talk about today would be Ethereum ETH. It's my second posting of today. With respect to recording time of 1:25 p.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum currently $4,078, down about 0.84% so far. As you can see clearly on the overall crypto market, it's a relatively mixed bag at the moment. The key coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, are both flat at the moment, with Bitcoin on the green side of the spectrum, while Ethereum is down close to about 1% so far. On the altcoin side of the house is more volatility, I would say, across the spectrum. There are some selective coins that are down a little bit more prominently than others. Cardano is currently down about 3%. XRP seems like we could not break the $1. Now we just kind of comfortably laying back down to the next comfortable level, right? Down about 6% so far. Shiba Inu is down about 4%. Polygon or MACD is down about 6%, while AVAX is also down respectively. And with respect to the overall crypto market, today is obviously an off day on the equity side. The stock market is not open. It's going to be a long weekend for the equity market, but the crypto market never sleeps, right? So it's important for us to triangulate what's going on the macro perspective, and just look at the news so far. Collective look this morning. Obviously, early this morning we didn't really detect any specific news that popped up that was a little bit more, with a macro application. But as the days delay came out about an hour ago, around noontime. Seems like there are some press release coming out from the airlines. Seems like there are hundreds of flights being canceled on today on Christmas Eve domestically. Seems like some of the COVID Omicron cases are hitting the cabin crews and a lot of the airlines employees. And despite Joe Biden on the administrative front lifting the travel restrictions on 8 African countries, and also with respect to the Omicron news, seems like based on a UK government studies that was released, I would say 2 days ago, that seems like despite Omicron, the cases are surging on a quantitative perspective. But the cause of hospitalization is actually less severe in comparisons to the Delta variants, right? Seems like Omicron is a lot more contagious, but in terms of the the diagnosis or the effect to your physical being is a little bit less invasive in comparisons to the detriments that Delta variants can subsequently do to your body. So I guess that's like kind of a mixed signal, but it's definitely unfortunate to see that airline companies have to cancel flights. That means a lot of people are gonna be missing their families this year, right? Especially on the domestic front. So this definitely sucks to see that. Some people not are gonna have to maybe do Zoom meetings or maybe face chat instead of actually being having dinners or opening gifts collectively surrounding the Christmas trees. So it is what it is, but ultimately safety and health concerns is definitely the priority. It is unfortunate that airlines are getting some hindrance right now. So if today the equity market was to open, it will definitely drive some selling pressure. But because of the fact that equity market is not open today and we ended on relatively good notes, the crypto market is having some hindrance right now, right? It's one of the macro affectation, right? When we saw every single time we see a dip because of Omicron or some sort of pandemic related news, it sells off across the entire market, right? Unless there's some sort of inflationary news that kind of mix into the equation. But today is a relatively plain vanilla, just hundreds of flights being canceled because of the COVID hitting the crews in respective airlines, right? So respect to current level right now, I would say the momentum of the chart still holds, right? We are still forming this downward wedge and also at the same time the bull flag, right? If I put this flagpole right here, we are squeezing tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. It seems like the critical level we need to watch out for today on Christmas Eve would be the 4,000 mark, right? If we break below 4,000, which there's a possibility if we try to squeeze to make the the arrow tighter and tighter as we form that apex, ideally by the end of this year, and then we will have that massive explosion coming. It's possible, right? But the Omicron news is something that is driving some stir right now, allowing for more incentives for people to sell, right? So we'll see how that goes. With respect to Bitcoin, currently, seems like the Weibo account is trying to show me something. Oh, there we go. So with respect to Bitcoin, is currently sustaining above the 50K right now, $51,000. We're basically like just $100 away. So I give that benefit of the doubt that we're at the 51 right now. And 51 is not really a substantive level, right? The real level is basically at the 52,750. But right now we are like about 1,500 away from that level. We are still at the neutral level at the 52 out of 70, crossing upward. So the bullishness is still sustaining. We are still in the flagpole, right? We are still having that bull flag that we're forming for Bitcoin. And do we see like what's the next surge, right? Do we see like breaking all-time high for Bitcoin? I don't think so. I think it's more likely for Ethereum in comparisons to Bitcoin. But Bitcoin will obviously have some drag effects in correlations to Ethereum, right? Knowing the fact that they are like the mother lords of the entire crypto market. So we'll see how that goes. But right now the critical level is to stay above 50K, and for Ethereum stay above 4,000, right? Dogecoin right now is just trading up because of the the overall market is kind of leaning more towards the upside of the spectrum, with the 52 out of 70 right now. Again, right, anywhere from the 16 to below is still a better level. I probably stay away right now because the better dip was basically days ago when we were driving fear and panic everywhere, right? And Cardano is up about 3.10% right now. At the moment, I would say anywhere from, again, right, anywhere from 134 to below to 120 was still a better level. I think we are normalizing right now with the 51 out of 70. So not the best, not the worst, right? I think a lot of opportunities came in days ago. I wouldn't really be chasing right now, even though we're down 3%. But I think a better opportunity was days ago, right? So we'll see how that goes. We might see more sell-off during this weekend, because of the weekend affectation, contingent on how people are psychologically thinking about this, right? So it seems like crypto is becoming slowly as a form of donation or like a Christmas holiday gifts, if you may. So we'll see how that goes, right? With respect to Solana, it's about 193 right now, up about 3%, 53 out of 70. At the moment right now, we are contemplating can we break above 200 again. I think it will be a relatively possible affectation. You see that we tried to get there today. 198 was the highest we got to. 199 if you round it up, right? You can see clearly people are resisting to do so. We are at the neutral level on the upper echelon one as well. So 200 is going to be an interesting level for us to crack. But right now, I think for us to even feel comfortable incurring risk at all would be 155 to below, 155, 133 to 113. XRP is down about 6% right now. The reason we could not get there is because we could not get to 101. And the reason we're hovering at this level right now is exactly because what technical is telling us, right? We are hovering just at the consolidated level, right? So if we break this current level as well, we go to 88, go to 78. And I think 78 is technically the bottom with the 54. So I think that's the likely bottom for us to see. But I don't think we actually have a higher probability of going to a 78. I think 88 would be a logical level to incur risk already. Polkadot's up about 1.30% right now. Anywhere from, again, right, 25 to below is still better level with the upper echelon of the neutral level, the 48 out of 70. So it's okay, not the best, not the worst again. Algorand's up about 12% right now. We are surging because of the golden cross that we formed. Exactly why the technicals just speaking the truth. Right now, we're surging relatively in a strong momentum, 54 out of 70. Would I be buying now? I would not probably, because of the fact that anywhere from 135 to below is the much better level. So I wouldn't call this like missing the dip, missing the dip, or you kind of missing out. It's going through a cycle right now. It's just the technicals coming true. So as we come back down to below on the RSI scale to 35, that's when you start buying in again. Right now, just at an okay level, not the best, right? Shiba Inu is up about 3.5%. Anywhere from the, again, right, 2,900 to below is still better, right? So we got there days ago when we were at around this level on the 20th. So basically a week before Christmas, technically. And MacTech is down about 5%. We're selling down right now. We're gonna see more sell off. This is very logical, right? It's hard for us to keep going up in a way. Whatever goes up really fast comes down just as fast, right? So 175 to 143, as we see the technicals come back to below 35, that's the better level for us, right? AVAX 120. I think we're gonna see some comparable affectation. We're just flat right now, but again, right? Do we want to buy now? I don't think so because we have ran up relatively hot. We're still at the overbought level. I would say 60 out of 70 is not the best, right? Again, 81 to 60 is still better, right? Luna is just parabolic, and I don't really like buying at this level right now because of the huge premium that you have to pay, right? I think a better level will be anywhere from 62, bare minimum 52 to 45 from here, knowing the fact that we are at the 60 out of 70 right now. With respect to risk management level, these are levels to dollar cost average at. Again, some revisions here and there, so feel free to use as a reference, right? Again, right, I don't think it's the best setup right now in terms of like buying at the moment. So the best solution is just to hold for long term, and wait for a better opportunity to come, right? I do think the bullish sentiment is still around. I do believe that today, with respect to the news that just popped up from the airlines, it's definitely unfortunate to see people are going to have to basically, celebrate Christmas separately. It definitely is not the best ideal solution. I think people were probably anticipating and looking forward to spending time with their family, but obviously, health and safety is the biggest concern that we have collectively, both on the domestic perspective, but also into international perspective, right? So hopefully this is helpful. Really appreciate you for joining me again. For those actually trapped, and not able to travel, I'm sorry. This is definitely not the most ideal. But I'm happy that you guys are safe and healthy, and I think that's important, right? So stay strong, stay healthy. The last thing I want you guys to get sick, and then and that could be a even further hindrance. So it might be a temporarily pain that we will have, but hopefully you guys can maybe travel later, maybe postpone your flights to before New Year's. And I think celebrating New Year's is also it's just as good as celebrating Christmas. I don't know. Anyways, I typically just like kind of sleep in when it's New Year's Eve or New Year's. Not really a celebratory guy. I don't really go to parties. I did when I was in college back in the day, but I guess I'm getting older, so not as festive as I used to be. But it's more about just spending good time with family and close friends, right? So really appreciate you. Stay strong and stay healthy. And again, Merry Christmas Eve to everyone, and take care. Bye.